Alright, here we're going to use the remainder theorem and the factor theorem to find out if this polynomial is divisible by some other factor, which we have here is x minus 2. In the remainder theorem, if we plug in the negative of negative 2, which would be 2, and this thing turns out to be 0, that means that x minus 2 is going to be a factor of this problem. So let's see this played out. If we put in the various numbers here for 2, and we test them, and we do all the multiplication while 2 is being plugged in for the x, and we go through all the steps, we find that indeed x minus 2 does result in a 0. So we know then that x minus 2 is one of the factors of that polynomial. So we have another one here. We're going to play this out entirely. So we have a polynomial to degree 3, and we want to find out the real zeros of this. First thing we want to do is take the negative 6 and the 1. The negative 6 comes from the back and the 1 comes from the front. We want to find the factors to make each. 1, 2, 3, and 6 are the factors of negative 6, and 1 is the only factor of 1. But remember, noted here, it's always plus or minus. So 1, 2, 3, and 6 are the factors that we're going to try. We put the 1 in, it's pretty easy to see the 1 doesn't work. And that's the equation right there. The 2, though, when you put it all through and you do the addition and multiplication, the 2 actually does result in 0. So we know that 2, actually x minus 2, is going to be one of the factors because the 2 works. But we have to do division here to find out what the polynomial is going to look like once x minus 2 is taken out. So when you run through the long division, and what you have left is an x squared plus 4x plus 3. That's the other part of the remainder of the result of after factoring out an x minus 2. Now this can be factored just traditionally x plus 3x plus 1. This now gives you your ability to see your zeros. You can see that your x minus 2 is going to give you 2, your x plus 3 is going to give you negative 3, and your x plus 1 is going to give you a negative 1. So those are the zeros of this polynomial to the third degree.